lemon.
Sit down, coming out of PE town. One drink, find a shot. Never mind your liver, get to Gino's spot.
Gino's spot.
Get to Gino's spot.
Gino's spot.
Have a laugh, have a giggle, and exercise your middle. Have a Gino shot.
Gino's shot.
Get to Gino's spot.
Gino's spot.
Get to Gino's spot.
Gino's spot.
Have a laugh, have a giggle, and exercise your middle. Get to Gino's spot.
Gino's spot.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Center Stage.
And there we go. We're on screen, but we're not on screen, if you know what I mean, because in the ways Tracy Terblanche, and she's here from Bargain Books. We're going to be having a book club tonight. So my name is Clyde Smithers for now, and I'm the leader of the book club here tonight with the two of us. We are here. She's actually waiting backstage. I'd like to first of all thank our sponsors, which also are not on the screen at the moment because our technical team is having difficulties tonight. And we have Opinion over here. You'll see this one over here, very important. They're a bunch of accountants, which I relate to very much as a bookworm. You know, accountancy and reading books is about as exciting as each other. And then there's on this side over here is Fitch and Leeds, which is a little more exciting. That's more about mixes for drinks and things, which we have over here. We have a lot of Fitch and Leeds that we can drink too. And then, of course, right at the top here, Centre Stage at Bay West, which is just launched via Gary Hemmings and his bunch of people, these bunch of crazies that are at that venue. We've had a couple of shows and it's been bloomin' marvellous. You won't believe how beautiful the venue is. And then of course Gino's Spot, which is every single Tuesday night. And let me tell you, you got to subscribe to the YouTube. Subscribe to the YouTube, hundreds of films there. But you got to subscribe to Gino's Spot on YouTube, and then you'll be reminded every single Tuesday. Isn't that marvellous? Every single Tuesday at 6:30 without fail. Never ever have we missed one. Well, we might have missed one, but I mean, you don't know about it anyway, so I don't have to worry. So, ladies and gentlemen, and also don't forget Grace from Fat Cats. She's been very nice to us and kept us in food so we don't starve to death. And so thank you so much to Grace. We love you as well. She's also providing a bit of food at the venue at the centre stage at Bay West as well. So I'm going to now remove my glasses because I've got to talk to my guest. We've got a book club tonight, Gino's Spot Book Club, and it's with Tracy Terblanche from Bargain Books. We're going to see what's happening there. Let's do it.
Welcome to the show. Now it's your turn to shine. We're gonna have a like a chat tonight. Another good time.
Very professional intro, Tracy.
It's quite a fireball. I love that. Thank you.
A fireball.
Yes, love
and
that.
Cheers to you. We just had a cup of
Cheers,
coffee
yes.
because I know you like a bit of coffee. You're a bit of coffee lover, which of course attracted me in the right away because I love coffee as well.
Yes.
Isn't it great?
Coffee keeps us sane, don't you think? Or at least less psychotic. I don't know.
It's just become a thing. I only started drinking coffee when I was like 27 or something. We went over to Italy, and which is where my family was originally from. You know, my ancestors were from there, and I thought I've got to try some coffee and
Proper coffee.
Yeah.
Yes.
And when I did that, I thought, no, hang on, I've missed out for.
Right, but you've got lots of years to catch up now. And I'm
Totally
sure you're doing a good job.
Well, now that I'm only 27, you know,
right,
Tracy,
yes,
you know,
plenty of time, plenty of
I've
time.
got plenty of time. No, and I just love it as well, and it becomes part of your routine. Maybe
Yeah, I think the coffee making routine is probably what I love the most about it.
Yeah.
You know, I find it quite centering.
Yes.
You know, when the whole world's going absolutely bat around you, you go, I need a cup of coffee, and that whole process of going to the beans, grinding the
That's
beans,
it.
putting everything into place, forcing some extremely hot water through that,
Yeah.
and
at
extracting
9 bars of pressure.
at least,
Yes.
at least, and then you're extracting that stunning coffee, and you're just watching it all. Just it calms you. You know, forget box breathing,
Yeah.
forget all of that other stuff. Just concentrate on making a damn fine cup of coffee.
Yeah.
And I think you're winning.
It's a bit of like meditation kind of
1000% yes.
I'm sorry, I'm coughing, but it's like running. I'm coughing because I had a little run beforehand. But running is the same thing, and any form of exercise is a repetitive exercise. Does the same thing. Just sort of focuses your brain a little bit.
Yes, and that's what coffee does. Forget the after effects of the jitterbugs, but that's
Yes.
fine. I mean, depending on how strong that coffee is. If it's strong enough to show up on a drug test, it's probably the right strength.
The right
Correct.
yes.
But it's that whole routine of making that coffee. It's calming, it's relaxing, and it's safe for everyone around me.
Yes. It's better for them.
100%.
Better
yes.
for
Whether
them.
they have the coffee or not. It's,
Yeah.
I'll have it for them.
And okay, well, let's get into Tracy Terblanche first of all. Subscribe to Gino Spot on YouTube. Yes, please do that because we're sick of Facebook. Facebook is actually deleting the live streams after a month now. They've got a
really?
new thing. So YouTube is actually the best way to do things these days.
Right.
If you want to do a
so kicking
podcast.
and screaming, you're pulling us into some
YouTube,
sort of.
yes.
Okay.
We have to go to YouTube. Don't even think about Facebook.
I'm just dealing with this whole Facebook thing. Slow down.
It's crazy,
Slow down. Write a book about it. I'll follow the steps.
Social media
Yeah.
should be, it's all about reading, but is it really? It's all the whole multimedia visual thing. And books takes you back to a core, you know, of something that's been there for centuries and centuries and centuries.
And will always be.
Yes.
You know, no matter what happens around you, the world could literally fall apart around you. Books are a constant.
Yeah.
They absolutely are.
And the book readers as well as bookworms have become like warriors, you know.
We prefer Book Dragon.
Book Dragon.
Yeah, we do prefer Book Dragon, but I suppose it's a different sort of, you start off as a bookworm.
Yes.
right? And
Oh,
you know,
you get
you
more and more
you consume books, and then you start hoarding them
Oh,
in a special cave. You see,
Oh, you mean, are you talking about dragging them around?
right? That's certainly, I love that. But you drag them into your cave, and you protect them at all costs.
Okay.
Yes, and it becomes a hoard.
It's like, yes.
Yeah, we're preparing for the apocalypse. You see,
And also,
Yeah.
but also this whole dragon thing's become quite a thing. It's like Dungeons and Dragons, this the Hobbit thing, you know, all this stuff, and
it's all based on storytelling, isn't it?
yes, it's
you know,
got
it
that
comes
feel.
down to storytelling.
Yeah.
We're creating a story and we're letting it take us somewhere.
Imagination.
Yeah, exactly.
That's,
and that's
dragons are imagination.
And that, well, are they really though?
Well,
I mean,
well, we don't know for
we
sure.
don't know. There's a book on that.
I mean, surely that I certainly know that these chickens. I've got a whole bunch of chickens now recently, and they certainly look like little dinosaurs. So I know that they were dinosaurs.
This is it.
Those chickens.
Yes.
The way that they are.
They are, yeah. They're loud and they're
Yeah.
noisy and
Vicious.
a little bit attacky. Yeah.
Vicious. They
I
are.
remember being chased around by chickens as a child. Not a happy one.
No.
Yeah.
No, and they destroy a lot of things.
And they do.
You know?
They
If you're
do.
an insect, then that's a dinosaur. You know.
1,000%, yeah. But
But
their
that-
little arms, little
Yes,
wings.
it's
yeah,
a
so a
Tyrannosaurus.
T-Rex kind of vibe there. Yeah, just backwards.
T-Rex.
Yeah.
I think I think that whole feeling, though, you're right. It's certainly about books and about imagination and about creativity. Are you a steampunk junkie?
Yes, I am.
Are you? Because
I am.
I love steampunk as well.
Yeah, and I think it's some. Have you been to Truth Coffee?
Truth, of course. Yes.
I felt
Okay.
I walked in there and I felt as if I was at home.
Yeah.
Because people around me were dressed like I am.
Yes.
You know, and it's that whole putting things together, cobbling, using your imagination, and just
Yeah.
going, I can make this work with a
Yeah.
little bit of innovation.
But it's
I
also
love that,
it's romantic.
yeah.
It's romantic
100%,
in a
yeah.
way, you know.
Yeah.
It makes you think about design. It makes you think about this. You know, for me, it was the schools of design, or the Art Deco, and then these like Bauhaus and all the from the 30s, you know, going through, and the difference between neoclassic and what is it, the Art Deco and Art Nouveau.
Yes.
was taken into the Hobbit, where it was the dwarfs and the elves. So Art Nouveau was the elves, which is more plants and trees and that sort of thing, and then Art Deco, which was the dwarfs, which was triangles and shapes, you know.
Yeah, and quite rigid.
It-
Yeah.
more rigid than that, but it did have a flow to it as well. But so they looked very similar, but if you look at them carefully, it's like, okay, one's natural plants and that's elves, that's Art Nouveau, Art Nouveau, and then Art Deco was the shapes.
And they
you know.
belong so beautifully together.
Yes,
And that's the joy of it, you know. And I feel like steampunk is almost like Frankensteining things
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
You know?
Everything together.
Yes, because it'll find a way to work.
Yeah.
It'll find a way to work better.
Yes, and all those schools of design were there for a reason, because they things fitted with, there were certain things that fitted with other things.
Yeah,
So-
and it evolves, and it
so-
just becomes something.
You know, if you take heed of those rules, all of a sudden you're drawing something one of them and it fits and it looks beautiful. You know, it's like the design of cars and stuff as well, which I love, and that's all very steampunky. So that's why I love steampunk with that sort of thing. Were you a goth? Come on, were you the dark?
You say were. You say
Well, I mean, 'cause
were.
goth, you know,
I mean,
you
yeah, but
you know, it
I was
a
one
thing
of
in
those
the 90s.
cheerful ones.
Well,
you know, I was a Just so you know, I had nothing to do with that. I didn't push any buttons. I didn't do it. I stuck to the books.
It's so odd.
Yeah, this
What
is
you could
why
do.
I'm not
Here
in
we are.
IT.
Okay.
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
back. All right, we're back.
Hi.
Yes. What were we talking about?
Goths.
Goths. Yes. Tell me
goths.
about the Goths, because I think that Goths they were misunderstood. Really, it wasn't about changing your personality as such. It was just what you enjoyed about fashion and
100%. You know, you were free to be you, but just less colourful, kind of.
Yes.
You know, I'll never forget one of the first things that I was asked in an interview that I asked. You know how you're in an interview and you've got to ask, do you have any questions that you'd like to ask us? I hate those. I hate them so much because, you know, I've got 1,000 questions actually, but none of them are appropriate to this interview situation. So I'm going to stick with, is there a dress code? Is there a uniform? Because I've seen what some of those booksellers are wearing, and I'm like, I don't know, because it's T-shirts and I don't own one.
Yeah, right.
You know, and I'm like, is there a dress code? You know, and it was just, as long as you wear black. I'm like, oh sweet Lord, thank you, I'm home. You know, and I'd gone out to buy a very bright blue blouse. To wear for this interview, just to try and sort of ungoth myself just a little bit. But I thought maybe, you know, we don't, Goths not welcome kind of thing, you know. So
because often it often was for no real good reason.
For no good reason, you know. I mean, I remember getting off a bus on a school trip, you know, and I was dressed in my customary black before Wednesday made it cool. You know, I got off and I was dressed in black, and this guy walked up to me. And he said, I want to talk to you about Satan. I said, oh, please don't. I'm a good girl. And he'd made an assumption based on my, I mean, gosh, I was 14. But, you know, a girl in black in 14, I mean, questions were asked, you know. But I was terrified of him the whole camp. I thought, my gosh, he wants to talk to me about Satanism, and I don't want to talk to him about Satanism.
No, that's not what I was into.
No.
I was going to check Philippa with the headphones whether the sound is okay. Because the one thing, if we lose thing, then sometimes we lose sound. We're good. Okay.
All right. Yeah.
No, we're good. Okay, so I imagined that because I you know, if you're into, often I find Darren Fuller's another one. She always used to give us a little book thing and a TV thing she used to watch. So give us Netflix and
handy,
like do a what you're watching for us.
Nice.
You know? Yeah, which maybe you should also maybe do for us every now and again.
I don't do anything watching, but I can tell you about books.
But books,
You know,
the
100%.
new stuff coming in.
Well, there's so many great books out there. You can't really stop talking about books.
Yeah, I mean, and it's bargain books. So
it is bargain books.
How long have you been there?
I have been with Bargain Books for about 9.5 years.
Okay.
Best years of my life.
Okay.
100%. And I think the way that I landed up there was a bit odd.
Well, let's go into your history and get
history.
your journey. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, my entire journey.
Where you were born and bred? Where were you?
You know, normally people say to me, where were you born? And I say, well, I'll have to shoot you afterwards. But it's not so much a thing. I was
Benoni.
Not quite, Not quite as awful. I'm actually perhaps a little bit worse. I was born in Sasolburg in Die Vrystaat.
Oh, wow.
Yes, but I was rescued very quickly out of that, and we moved.
Okay.
And my father worked for a company that built power stations across the country. So I took on, I always romanticized it and called it a bit of a gypsy life. You know, we'd spend 1 or 2 years here, 1 or 2 years there, and ended up in a little dorpie called Volksrust. Volksrust.
Yes.
Yes, you know, so you can imagine this very English voice going into a little dorpie called Volksrust.
Volksrust, it sounds like it's got a lot of wagons around it and, you know, lager.
Quite a lot, you know, and I mean, it's 10 kilometers away from one of the biggest battles in the Anglo-Boer War, Majuba Mountain. You know, and now you're bringing this very British little girl in there and going, well, hey, I couldn't speak a word of Afrikaans, and I was put into this. They called it a dual medium school, where, you know, allegedly we were taught in English and Afrikaans. Even English was taught in Afrikaans.
Okay, so it was delicious English.
It was fantastic though. And I learned how to speak Afrikaans extremely quickly. Extremely quickly, which meant that my tenses were a little bit off. And for several years, I was called Liva Hexie,
Okay.
which was great. It was great.
Yes.
But I figured, she's all right because she's got a book deal, she's got record
Yes,
deals,
she
she had a
has.
TV show.
She did.
So I
She
thought,
had the
well,
La Fina.
exactly. So I said to people, stop with this Liva Hexie thing. You will call me Lafinia. So
Dit is my naam.
But yeah, so growing up in that sort of environment,
Yeah.
and then through all the twists and turns, I somehow landed up in Port Elizabeth.
Yeah, okay.
And for love, as one does.
Oh,
A
okay.
lot of
Oh,
things
there
that
we
we do it for love.
Yes,
You know,
yes, of
so
course.
it's a silly thing, that thing.
All
But
right.
yes, and through...
Did that not work out?
No, very much so.
Oh, so
He's
you-
quite nice. I've kept him.
Oh, you
yeah,
kept
yeah,
him.
yeah,
So-
yeah.
So
No,
that
he's
is
great.
Terblanche.
That's the Terblanche.
That's your
yeah.
Terblanche.
Yeah, and
okay.
the whole sort of...
What was your maiden name?
My maiden name is Bauer.
Oh, Bauer. Oh.
Yes, right?
Oh,
yes.
she's a Bauer.
Yes,
Okay, very
yes.
good.
Like
Well,
the
I'm
pan,
very-
just not.
So you could get Terblanche.
Yes, and I suddenly
And
am
you
a
moved to PE?
Terblanche. And I moved to PE because of a Terblanche. Yes, I did it for love. And I'd probably do it again, for the same guy.
Yes.
Because he's quite
good,
sweet. Yeah, he's all right. I think I'll keep him.
He's a keeper.
He's a keeper.
He's a keeper.
He's very nice, yes. But I was working in the furniture industry,
Okay.
in an admin accounting kind of role.
Like Illerines or one of those.
Not quite as awful as that. No, manufacturing, and then on to Orange Apple. I don't know if you remember the
yes, I
Orange
do
Apple of the
remember
year.
Orange Apple.
Yes, and
Very, so very.
it was just very everything.
Interior decor.
Yes, now I had to manage these bunch of motley crew people running around, but more from the finance aspect.
okay.
Because finance is my background.
Okay. Did you
not
study
by
finance?
choice. I did, not by choice. Yeah.
How do you not study? How do you study? Well, I suppose your father says to you, you're going to go and study a BCom or whatever. Then
No, not quite like that. I think if my father had been around, he would have encouraged me to do pretty much what my heart wanted to do.
Okay.
But after school, and I'd taken what is now called a gap year.
Hoërskool Volksrus.
Ja, ek het klaar gemaak by Hoërskool Volksrus in 1994.
Ja, sê jy
Ja,
so.
1994.
Ek is mos getrou in 94
It's
eintlik.
good. It's a good year. It was a
Ja,
good
het was
year.
een goeie jaar geweest.
And I took what is called now a gap year.
Okay, yes.
Yes. And I thought, well, gosh, I don't quite know what I'm going to do with my life because it's all been turned upside down.
Yes, okay.
My father had passed away, and things were like, okay, I don't know
So
what to
in
do
your
now.
trick year, your dad passed.
No, he passed away in my standard 9 year.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
tough.
It was a lot, hey? It was a lot. The whole family was kind of reeling because the year prior to that, my brother had died.
Oh.
Then the year follow, Dad passed away, and
Yeah.
Mom and I were standing holding the bags, going, I can never know.
Yeah.
They're like, I don't know now.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
and she said, right, that's it. We pack up and we're going to move to George because that's where her family was.
Okay.
So uprooted from this little one-horse town to George. I thought, well, okay, I have no idea what it is I'm going to do with my life.
Yeah.
I had visions of drama or something fantastic. And I thought, that's the
George.
life for me. Not so much,
Not so much in George at that time.
No.
But now, maybe.
Possibly, So I thought, well, I'll take a little gap here, do this whole waitressing lark. I believe it's pretty good.
Yeah.
It is. It's amazing.
Yes.
The money was terrible because they only paid us in tips.
Oh, yes.
That was back in the day when
Yes.
it was still forced labor.
Yes.
And but it taught me so many skills. It taught me, I want to almost say manipulation, but it's not. It's sales.
Yes, sales.
It's sales.
Which is really manipulation, I suppose.
100%. But it's about getting somebody onto your page with that passion. And I bought a car after my first year's sort of like not even a year. I bought a car. Going, well, I must be all right at this.
Flying.
And I thought, well, okay, I'm going to make a lifetime career out of this. My mum said, not on your Nelly. You're going to go and do something with your life.
Okay.
And I rocked up at the college in George. Die State Kaapse College.
Okay.
And I thought, what
Ja,
now?
Afrikaans was so right geweest.
It was possible. And I thought, okay, now what are we going to do? And I looked at the options in front of me, and it was financial management, it was business management, and it was secretarial.
Yeah.
And I thought, I'm going to pick the hardest one because that's what I do. I always pick the hardest one, and I picked finance management.
Oh.
And I thought, well, okay, great. This I can, and I'm not too bad at it.
Okay.
You know, but the problem with accounting, the problem with finance, this is where finance and I sort of parted ways.
Yes.
They don't encourage creativity
Yes.
in
No,
finance.
they don't.
No, it's frowned upon, and you kind of sort of get a different sort of color outfit that you wear.
It's maths. It's literally.
The maths is great, and the maths is beautiful.
Well, but I mean structure in that way.
There's a lot of structure, and they don't. And I love this aspect about accounting is that there's no coloring outside of the lines. It is what it is.
Yeah.
But what I have creativity in me. I have a love for everything fantastic. I thought, well, I think I'm slowly withering away here.
Yeah.
This is not the life for me.
Yeah.
This is not the life for me. And twists and turns this way and that way. I thought the very next best thing that I could do is open a teddy bear shop. Because why ever not?
Yeah, well, I mean, it sounds like a wonderful idea to have for extra sales.
Just for funsies, as one does. And it was, the whole Build-A-Bear concept. I brought that to PE. Not quite under Build-A-Bear. I called it my own thing because, I'm very much plot my own, called kind of a...
Like legs and then body and... What are you talking about Build-A-Bear? Is this a...
Oh my gosh, it's the best thing ever. I
don't know what that is.
It sounds a bit... macabre, the first bit.
Yes.
I'm going to walk you through it though.
Okay.
But you get a bear skin.
Oh.
Like.
Oh, okay, yes.
It sounds worse than it is, but it's like a carcass.
Material.
It's the shape of a bear.
Okay, yes.
And it's got nothing in it.
Oh.
And then these little kids would come and they'd choose the bear and then we'd fill it up with stuffing and, give it life, give it body.
Okay.
And the little kids would be able to put a little heart in, rub all the little love in, blow life into it, and then there was a whole wardrobe of clothes.
I just think, I wonder if my teddy bear had a heart in it.
I can fix that for you. I can fix that for you. And it's the best experience because I was able to connect with kids on a different level. Yeah. I didn't know I liked kids at that point.
Okay, yes,
this was new to me. I thought, they're not too bad. They're quite interesting, actually.
Yes,
and so bears was my thing for a while, and I loved it, and I thought it was the best thing ever. Funny enough, one of my colleagues that works with me now, she came and built a bear with me right in the beginning. So everything,
she was hooked already.
Everything comes full circle.
You find your friends. You see?
They find me.
Who the hell else is going to come and build a bear? You guys have got to be friends.
This is it. A little bit quirky, but we're there.
Yeah. That is actually crazy. I've never heard of that.
It was the best thing.
So you
really
brought it to PE.
I brought it to PE and I had the best fun. King's Court was its own sort of...
King's Court.
I opened there first.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, sold a dream. And it turned out a little different. But all the ways I believe that we walk the path that we're meant to. We might not always agree with the path.
Yes.
And we might trip on a stone or two along the way. But we're going to get there. And getting to bargain books was part of all of that. And
were they there at King's Court as well?
No, they weren't.
How did you get in touch?
You see, now this is the best. This is the best part. Suzelle DIY.
Yes.
Right? It's because of her that I work at bargain books.
No way.
No, fully it is because my car had a flat tire.
Oh, yeah.
Right, and I had to have it replaced. And I was going to go on a Saturday to go and have the tyre replaced.
Yeah.
But then a friend phoned me up. She says, Tracy, I need your fancy car to pick up somebody at the airport. And I was like, cool, wishy-washy, off to the airport we go. Okay. And it's Suzelle DIY.
Oh, no way. Okay.
Yeah, so the next, I couldn't go and...
What's her name? And... She's Greek.
Yeah, quite a mouthful with a name. Suzelle just rolls off easier off of my tongue, And so the next week I had to go and replace the tyre because there wasn't time on that Saturday no more.
Yeah.
So I sat there in the tyre repair shop in Hughroad.
Yes.
And they were busy doing their thing and they came to me and they said, I'm terribly sorry, but we've cracked the rim on your car.
Oh, no.
And I'm like, that doesn't sound great.
Yo.
That does not sound great at
Yeah.
all. You know, I'm run out of things to do.
Yes.
I've read all of your magazines,
Yeah.
and they gave me a newspaper. And they said, it's not going to take terribly long, but here's a newspaper, because I get fidgety. You know, it's like, give us something.
Okay, give us something to do.
Right. And I read from top to bottom and everything in between.
They were lucky.
And I happened upon a print news advert for a bookshop manager at Bargain Books.
Oh, well,
And I thought,
you're waiting there.
gosh,
A
that
cracked rim got you a job.
Suzelle
DIY
got me a job at Bargain Books, and I thought, gosh, that looks like something I could probably like doing, because I like reading as it happens. You know, I've done it for a while.
Yes.
I'm not rubbish at it.
Yes.
So, and I've got quite a lot of books.
And you've got experience in finance a little bit.
Yes, and in sales, and I'm not a complete nut job.
Yes.
So I thought, well, okay, I could probably sell books.
Yeah.
You know, and therein lies my journey to Bargain Books.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So let's have a look. There's some comments coming in here. Let's have a quick squiz there, Filippo. Let's show me some comments. Elmarie, good evening, Elmarie Sampson. She's our weather lady as well.
Right.
And Camilla Ellis, lovely to have you. Yeah, she's going to be a bookworm. She works at the library, so she's going. I would prefer to be holding a book to device. Just doesn't feel the same. You're right. That it does it. I find it if I read a book, I get involved in it, and at least I can go to sleep while I'm reading it as well, because it relaxes me, as opposed to the TV, which shines sparkly things in your eyes all the time. Nothing beats a good book, says Elmarie. Had the opportunity recently to catch up with some reading. Oh, lovely. You've got to love that. And grab some black halls for the scratchy cough. I know. It's black ones, you say. I'll check them out, because I've had this cough for bloody months. And I think it might be an asthma-y kind of thing, because whenever I do exercise, then it comes back. And the black pack. I'll check out the black pack. Okay. Philippa's she's constantly onto me about getting something, getting cough sweets and things, you know.
All right, just get rid of that cough. I was going to say stop running.
No.
If the running is causing the cough, stop it.
I need to keep fit.
There are other ways. One does not have to run.
I quite like a bit of Pilates every now
Well,
and
you can push your luck a little bit, or jump to conclusions. You know, that's the kind of exercise I would encourage. Yes.
Diddly squats.
Well, we do that in bookstores to get down to the bottom shelves.
Yes,
I could include that in my routine. Yes.
And, okay, so you went for an interview then?
Several.
With whom?
With whom? Well, it's quite a process, but I ended up interviewing with the regional manager of the South region, who is Jackie Harris. Okay. And gosh, she's quite a powerhouse.
Okay.
And, you know, a mentor of note, and somebody that I've learned a great deal from.
Oh, great.
You know, and right in the beginning, she said to me, you know, you know books. And I'm like, yeah, I know books. You know, and I was able to talk about different authors with some level of confidence, because I've been a reader since forever.
Okay.
You know, my dad accidentally taught me how to read at a very young age.
Accidentally?
Very much accidentally. He hadn't planned it, but you know, so I've been reading for a very, very long time. I've got this whole reading thing down pat. You know, and I know authors. And she said, well, there's a bit more to it. You know,
it's a sales science, I suppose. Huh?
You know, and the thing is, after 3 days, I thought, have I ever seen a book in my life?
Really?
It's a whole new world, you know, and I won't launch into any sort of Disney singing
but
yet,
it's like,
but it is that.
Like everything, it becomes a science. And it's a science of sales of books.
100%. And also, you know, watching the trends, predicting what's coming next, keeping an eye on those kind of things, what's working in the kiddies book industry there, and how it filters down to us. You know, listening to our customers and going, well, they don't really like this kind of font for
Yeah.
children's
Oh,
books.
right.
You know, and now we've got to look for something else. You
Yeah.
know, we've got to look for stories that are perhaps more relatable to a South African child.
Yeah,
And little things like that, and it becomes so nuanced.
Yeah.
You know, but with social media and with the world the way it is, we're basically being. It's not even at our fingertips anymore, is
No.
it? It's like
It's just so much.
It's so much,
Yeah.
and we've got exposure to so much that we need to bounce quite a bit.
Yeah.
You know, you've got to be quick on your toes, and I think one of the and I speak alone on this one, but one of the best things that ever happened to the book industry was COVID.
Yeah.
It was COVID.
Yeah, to keep people-
But
keep
this
people
is
at home.
it, you know, because you can only build a puzzle so many times. You can only
Yes.
do this so many times. And leading up to COVID, we were selling things. People were getting really flocked down.
Yeah.
We'd run out of puzzles. We'd run out of crossword books. And people are like,
Yeah.
but what now? And I'm saying, goodbye, bloody book.
Yes.
And you'll
And read.
enjoy it, you know. And so many of my readers I've retained from
Yeah,
that
from
time.
COVID, so-
Yeah, they've come back and think, gosh, I really enjoyed that book. What's
Yeah,
next?
yeah.
What's next? And I think
Okay.
that has been the fascinating part of reading, because I love books. I
Yeah,
read.
yeah.
I read wildly
Yeah.
and widely.
Yes.
But being able to open yourself up to new possibilities, to somebody else's way of thinking,
Yeah.
to a new world of imagination, I think that is the true gift of a book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's also something that doesn't involve social media, so because and your phone, because people are slaves to their phone.
They
you know.
are.
And I mean, myself included. You just don't realize how much time in a day is now spent, because everything is now on there. Your whole work is on there. Your job is on there. Your marketing is on there. Everything is on that phone.
But have you
know.
noticed that we've downloaded apps to help us reduce our screen time, to help us walk away from devices so that we can spend more time on
On the
devices?
device.
It's mad.
It's just
It's
completely
absolutely
insane,
mad.
It is.
Yeah.
And books form a part of this. We can only hope that books can form a part of the world that we need to go back into, because I always say this village, that we've got to get this village story happening where we work with each other, we buy each other's stuff. I support you at the bookshop. The bookshop supports me with my music. You know, everybody supports each other in your community, in your
Absolutely,
area,
yeah.
and it's got to go back to the village. I was with the village mentality, and books form a part of that, because they are
do.
there. Then
And they're right there.
They're there for, you know, also a part of that old. That's old world, because it's never old world. There's always new stuff coming out, but it's away from social media. It's not digital anymore.
This is
it's
it.
back there.
Well, you know, and
It is,
I
yeah.
think this is one of the devices that somebody was referring to. You know, it's better to hold the book in your hand, you know, because books smell a certain way, and there's a science behind that. But books smell a certain way. The cover of the book, there's science behind that. The way that the ink rubs off on your fingers.
Yeah.
You know, I feel that's when you really know that you've read a book. I have a Kindle.
Yeah.
It's a great paperweight. You know, but it was great for when I was traveling, because then I
Yeah.
could put 12, 13, 14 books onto
Yes,
it.
and then just read
because it's one little thing versus a whole suitcase of books. Although I always came home with a suitcase of books.
Yes.
But I've fallen asleep with the Kindle, and it's whacked me something fierce on my head, and it hurts a lot more than dropping a book on my
Yes,
face. So
yes.
for safety reasons, I recommend everybody just goes back to the written word on
Yes.
pages.
Yes,
Yes, please.
I think it might be.
Yes, been there, done that, don't do it.
Let's have a look here. I've got a couple more comments coming in here. I see who's a Marjorie Moore. Greetings, Marjorie. Nice to see you. And there's Margie from Wake. She's a legend. She's part of the SPA group. Well done for continuing Gino's podcast, because this was also a COVID thing in the end as well. And here we are on social media. But I'm hoping that at least this show was always going to be Eastern Cape people.
Yeah.
And we try and we take Tracy Terblanche and we put a stake in the ground and say, here's Tracy.
This is
at
where
this
I is.
time, right
Yes.
on the 9th of September 2025 at 7:10. This is you, you know?
Yeah.
And hopefully it'll be there for your grandchildren to see one day.
Oh Lord.
Yes, you know. They'll be, oh, this is Granny, you know.
This is what she was doing on that
She was
night.
quite cool, you know. Let's have a look at Marjorie. I see Janine Zeal as well. Your book is not suddenly going to start ringing. You're quite right. And somebody's not going to come and interrupt you in the middle of your book. And Janine saying there's nothing better than the smell of a book, whether it's new or old, the special scent. You're right, I never really thought about that, but it's that crispness of the page as well. It's like, okay, it's unread.
Yes.
I'm discovering the next page. It's, you know, it's like exploring.
Do you know why they smell so good, the books? Well, paper comes from the trees, right?
Yes.
Okay, I don't know the whole genealogy of things because that's not my thing. But somehow they're connected to the vanilla.
Oh, yeah.
So there's this strand of vanilla that pulls through and as the pages leak out that oil, that vanilla comes through, and it's that sense of home. You know, because a book, when you open it up, it's that sense of home.
Yes, it is, yeah.
Yeah, and they just breathe in a whole life of their own. And that's where books hold their magic.
There've been, I mean, maybe it's just because I'm doing the show, but I've just noticed that there are a lot of local people that are writing books as well.
Oh, it's become amazing.
You always want to leave not their legacy, but their story, because people, you know, they've all got interesting stories.
Yeah.
And I mean, I know John Best was one of them that had all these stories about rescues that he'd done because he'd been working in the police. And at call centers, and the 10111 call center, he was the guy, you know, that started that whole thing. And so he used to go on these rescue missions where the people were stuck in the mountains. Amazing stories. And
you need to write them down.
Yeah,
you have to
leave
really something tangible, and a book does that.
Well, fortunately, he had his wife as well that did write them down at the time, which was great. A sense of comfort, she says, Janine. You're right.
1,000%, yes.
It is, eh?
It's a homecoming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was. I mean, humans are naturally. Well, I certainly am nostalgic. I love nostalgia, and I don't know if you like the steampunk stuff and that it probably is like a nostalgic thing that you enjoy.
Yeah.
Enjoy a bit of history as well.
As much as I can remember, yes, I do enjoy history. Yes. But
you don't read about history. What are your favorite books?
Because things come from somewhere, don't they?
Yes.
You know, and I think that's what the joy is. When it comes to what do I enjoy reading in books, I think it depends on the day that you ask me. But, literary fiction, something that is written with such depth. And I prefer fiction to non-fiction, I'll be honest.
So you like the imagination thing?
I do. But I like the empathy in fiction, because if nothing else, it's that I can relate to what that character is going through, or I have a sense of understanding of what that character is going through, and I can become part of that.
Yeah.
You know, and books that are beautifully written with words, sentences that are just so perfectly placed. You know, they kind of can take your breath away. You know, there've been some books that I've had to kind of stare at a wall for a while afterwards, going, that was so beautiful. I don't think I could ever really recover from that. And there have been some absolute winners out there, you know, and not a fan of the horror things, because we walk around in a horrific situation most of the time anyways, you know. So, but children's books, oh my gosh, children's books are the absolute best, because, you know, I sometimes think that the author is writing it for the child, for the rhyming, for all the rest of it, but also for the adult who is reading it to them.
Yes, it's got to have those two.
Yes, and
two levels.
There's a different sort of humor, which as an adult you'll get, as a 4-year-old you're never going to get. And this is what my dad did. You know, he'd come into my room in the evenings and go, okay, it's story time, and I'd be madly excited about this. And he'd bring a book and he'd start reading the book, and I loved it. And I think some nights he was perhaps in a little bit of a hurry.
Yes.
You know, so want to skip a few, just get past that. And I said, "Oh, Dad, no, you've missed a few pages." You know, and he said, "No, I haven't." I said, "No, you have." And I brought him all the way back, and I started reading it back to him, and he was like, "Uh-oh."
Oh dear.
So the next night, he brought his guitar in to come and play to his 4-year-old daughter, who was reading to him at night.
Oh, lovely.
You know, he wasn't a great singer.
Okay.
But he was an enthusiastic singer.
Gave it horns.
And this is what reading does. It gives you memories that you hold on to, and
isn't it precious? I mean, it's like it's a brilliant memory, you know.
The other problem is with those children's books is, and again, you don't leave a 4-year-old to her own devices. You see, because I'd look at these books and I'd count all the words, and it always ended with the end.
Right.
You know, and I thought, well, okay, that's a bit of a problem. So I stopped talking completely.
Oh.
Completely.
Oh, so you were non-verbal for a while.
Completely non-verbal. You know, and I mean, my mom in the early 80s trying to figure this out, going, oh my gosh, this child, she's wackadoodle. You know, I went through a stage of only eating ice, and now she's stopped talking.
Oh, God.
You know, so I was her nightmare
Only
child.
eating ice?
Yes.
Ice?
Yes, and then only green things, and then only yellow things. Yeah, and I was an absolute nightmare.
You are quite batty.
Right? And I think it's a requirement. And then I stopped talking.
Okay.
You know, so she got my grandfather involved. So he sat me down and he says, so what's with this non-talking thing? I didn't want to tell him. And eventually he wheedled it out of me, and I said to him, but Grandpa, I counted all the words, and it comes to the end. And that's the end of the story. And he says, yes. I said, well, I figured that they only got so many words to tell their story with, and I don't want to waste mine.
Oh, my word.
So he looks at me and he goes, it's not quite like that.
That's quite deep thinking for a 4-year-old. Jeez, like.
So he said to me, it doesn't quite work that way. And I said, well, you don't speak a lot. Are you running out of words? So
Grandpa's got a long way to go to get a grandpa.
So he convinced me that it was in fact not true.
Wow.
And that I had lots of words left. So now I never stop.
Yes. then it was a fountain.
Correct. I think my mom regretted pulling the old guns in so early.
Oh, right, yes. Okay. Well, no, that's fine. And then it's what a good platform. And what a lovely thing for your grandpa to come and do, you know, as well, and also to get involved.
He was such an amazing man.
Is that your mom's mom?
My mom's father, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he was such an amazing man.
I don't know what to do with a bloody child.
You know, I was not being the same as everyone else.
Yeah.
You know, and I won't say I was a difficult child. I was a lovely child. I was a delight. Absolute delight.
Delightful.
Yes. But I didn't quite follow the lines, you know, and I think my poor mother was frazzled at that point.
Yeah.
And the kids only just come off eating ice. Now she won't talk. I'm done. You know, I'm done.
Oh, God.
So.
Okay. So then obviously, so Bargain Books has been your thing for the 9 years.
9.5 years, yeah.
And your job there, you're running a shop. But at the same time, you're also helping some others, or you're doing a contract sort of thing.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, I'm a bookseller. I sell books.
Okay.
That's my passion. That's my heart. I get excited about selling books. I get excited about matching a book to a person. Yeah. I feel like we're the best kind of Tinder ever. You know, people come and then they go, oh, I'm feeling this way. I've got just the book
swipe
for you.
Left, swipe right.
Come this way, you know. And a lot of the times I feel like I'm a pharmacist dishing out some sort of remedy. Yeah. Because tell me your woes, I'll find a book that'll help you with that. You know, and it's a lovely journey. It's a lovely experience because we meet people at their best and at their worst, and everywhere in between.
Okay.
And books have that wonderful ability to change your perspective on things. You know, so I'm a bookseller at heart, but I manage the Warmer Park branch.
Okay.
And that is my absolute. It's my child.
Well, I think you're in a good centre there as well. It's
a great centre. You know, we get such a hodgepodge of customers. They are the best. And I'm not just saying that because some of them might be watching. You know, you really are great. Love you. No, but they are. There's such a wide variety.
Yeah.
And we're blessed in that. And book people are different.
Yeah.
You know, I've been in retail for the better part of 30 years. And book people hit different.
Yeah.
You know, there's a sense of calm when they walk in because they've come in search of calm.
Yes.
You know, and they're bringing a sense of calm with
so
them.
right, yeah.
And, you know, in December we can tell if it's a reader or somebody buying for a reader.
Oh, right.
You know,
I need a book for someone.
and we act accordingly.
Yes, okay.
We act accordingly. And
who are you buying for?
this is the thing, you know, let's tell me a little bit more. You've got a list. I've seen that same person's list a little bit earlier. So you
right.
can't get that one. No, you can't get that one.
Not that one
Not
there,
that.
yeah.
This one's
This
not
one,
appropriate. So, let's move on to another one. And
Sure.
it becomes quite a noble role, I think. You know, you're curating somebody's reading path.
Yeah. It's quite a lot of their time.
Right.
It's like me selling a show, you know, but it's even longer because you get I don't know how many hours you're going to spend on that book.
This is it, you know, and I've got to get you to commit to 400
5
pages,
hours, whatever
you
it's
know,
gonna be,
and I've got to get you to love it,
Yes.
you know, and fortunately not all books start with a dark stormy night.
Yeah,
You know,
yes.
they come with some sort of substance.
Yes.
You know, but books, it's a noble cause. You know, so I run Warmer Park.
Okay.
And I also assist with other stores. Jackie, who's my regional manager.
Yes. One that interviewed you.
Yes, all those many years ago.
was-
I often wonder, you know, what was she thinking?
Yes.
You know, what were you thinking, lady? But you know, she's quite a powerhouse in this industry, you know, and I always say every day is a school day.
Yes.
And we learn so much from those around us.
Yes.
And she heads up the entire South region.
Okay.
From Mossel Bay
Okay.
all the way down to East London, which is our newly acquired little
Now, Mossel Bay, George, so that's George again as well.
Yes.
I wanted to actually ask you about George because a lot of people love George. I mean, if they've stayed in George, they normally love it. Did you love George or didn't you?
I didn't love George. I will say this. There are things about George that I absolutely adored. I want to say they've got mountains, but I suppose
they're beautiful.
They do, you know.
Yeah.
But compared to Cape Town, they're little hills, really. But they've got beautiful surrounds. They've got the lakes. They've got the forests.
Yeah.
Geographically, it's perfect.
Yeah.
You know, and they also get quite a bit of rain, which I love.
Yes.
You know.
Okay, you like a bit
But
of rain.
I think that the 10 years that I spent in George were perhaps at the wrong time of my life. You know, George was still figuring itself out.
Yes.
You know,
It's certainly caught a wake
yeah,
up now.
yes.
It's one of the fastest growing countries, cities in the country.
it literally is
And
a country
Mossel Bay.
on its own.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know?
it is, yeah.
And it's got a tiny little theatre that I was
Yes.
able to escape to every now and again. There's a lot of good in George.
Yes.
But I don't know if I was that happy in George.
Yeah.
Through no fault of George.
Yes,
You
yeah,
know,
of
through
course,
no
yeah.
fault of George, but I don't believe I fit in.
You didn't find yourself there.
No, there was no groove for me to slide into, and George does like its grooves.
Yeah.
You know, does
it
like
does.
its groove, and it's great. You know, you do what works for you.
Yeah.
You know, but
So she's now from Mossel Bay, George side, right the way up to East London. You say.
right the way up to East London and all the little shops in between. You know,
right.
we've got Mossel Bay, we've got George Plettenberg Bay, Neisner.
Okay.
It's actually the other way around. My bad.
Neisner
Neisner Plate.
Yes, Neisner Plate.
Jeffreys Bay.
Oh, yes, nothing in St. Francis yet now.
No. Well, there might be something.
Johansdorp.
Again, but those are fed from our Jeffreys Bay branch, which is fantastic.
Okay.
And then we have 3 bargain books in Port Elizabeth.
Okay.
Within 15 kilometers of each other. We are such a well-read city.
Yeah.
We are such a well-read city.
Hells bells,
and
that's
then we
good to
have
know.
one in Kariga as well.
Okay.
Yes. So we're extremely well-read.
The Hague.
The Hague, yes. I don't know. Your paper's up to order. I don't know. But, even in Main Road itself,
Yes.
there are so many little book outlets.
Yes, I had Teresa on the other day from Fogarty.
She is Books Port Elizabeth, isn't she? There's over
amazing.
70 years in the industry.
Brilliant.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But I know that there's a place for all of us.
Yes.
In this
Yeah.
stretch. It's like the coffee mile, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Main
It
Road
is.
Warmer is like the coffee mile.
It is.
But it's also the book mile.
Yeah, we used to say Seattle to Berlin. I think
Yes,
it was-
it's fantastic. Yeah, and everything in between.
Used to be Berlin, but I think Berlin's
Yeah.
now closed.
But there's a space for so many books. I mean, in Warmer Park alone, we have other bookstores within spitting distance of each
Gee
other.
whiz, eh?
Yeah, but there's a space for everybody.
That's right, there's Kum books there as well. And some others.
And some others.
As well.
But the bargain books in itself it's home.
Yeah.
You're going to bump into people that you're going there for a bargain. It's in the name. It's in the name.
So there's got to be good prices
It's
there.
got to be good prices.
Yeah,
and I mean, today, as you mentioned earlier, it's the 9th of September. It's Dan Brown Day in the book industry.
Dan Brown.
Dan Brown. You know Dan Brown?
No, I don't know Dan Brown.
He did the Vinci Code.
Philip is saying the Da Vinci Code.
And he's now brought out book 6.
Oh, okay.
Yes, A Secret of Secrets. After I think it was like 10 years, so this is
Jeez,
now landed, and it's massive. It's about 600 and odd. It feels like a packet of sugar. That's how heavy it is. Again, a great weapon.
Well, then maybe I must get into the Dan Brown ones.
You really
There
should.
go.
We are having
I've
a
been
promotion
Bill Bryson,
on them.
that was my thing.
There's a new one coming out of Bill
Is there?
Bryson. There really is. Well, it's an updated.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, The World and Everything.
Yes.
But he's doing
Oh, I
a
love
sort of
that one.
edition for that. I'll get one on order for
Sure,
you.
and I loved At Home as well, which is
Yes, and he's got such an eloquent way of writing, but he comes from a family of writing.
Yeah, okay.
And his way of breaking things down and making sense of everything.
Yeah.
Although there were things about the
Yes.
body I really didn't need to know.
he just makes it. He takes a complicated concept and he just makes it so easy to understand. you know?
Absolutely, in words that resonate.
Yes.
Yes.
It's like every man's way of figuring out the space and I just love the way he described how big space was, and how far. The reason why we haven't bumped into any aliens is because it's so stuffing big.
It's so sparse. It's not going to come up on your highway.
Oh no, it's not going to.
Yeah.
You're not going to bump into each other. It's
Not
just
likely.
too much space.
Yeah.
It's like an ant living in Uitenhage and an ant living in Cape Town. You're just never gonna, you're never gonna bump into each other.
Well, these days with the 6 degrees of separation and Facebook,
maybe.
you never know.
Facebook would be all right, but the internet doesn't go that far.
No, it
it's
doesn't.
crazy, and so everybody's got their own thing, and you've got to try and figure out from that person, what you're gonna.
Yeah, when they
enjoy.
walked in, you've got to go, okay, who are you?
Yeah.
What's happening in your world? And break down from what they're saying, and a lot of times what they're not saying.
Okay, yes.
You're reading between the lines and you're going, your life's been pretty rough for you today. Okay,
Yes.
let's dial it back a notch and let's see what we can do for you.
Yeah.
Or they'll come in and they go, they're looking for a book. They can't remember the title. They think the cover was blue. It's about a woman. And it's great because then we start playing book charades.
Right.
Twee lettergrepe and and first word. Yes. And we're able to, a lot of the times, based on clues that somebody's giving us,
Yes.
we can bring you
I
to
know
that
what it
book.
is.
I love that. Those are the best days ever.
Is it like music as well, where everything, like people are like a bunch of sheep, you know? So many love the same sort of thing. They think they're the only ones who like this or the only ones who like that, you know?
Correct.
And there's meantime there's like huge swathes of people that enjoy certain things.
Absolutely. I mean, you think that you're the only one reading romantasy right now. I never ever thought in all of my years that I'd know a little bit, and I don't know a lot about this new subgenre called romantasy.
Oh, romantasy.
Yes. You know how we love mashing words together?
Yes, yes.
So we've taken romance and we've taken fantasy. And we're going, okay, see what you can do with that.
Why do they say fomance? No,
I like that more.
No, romantasy does sound like that.
Yes, and there's dragons and there's it's great. It's great. But it's blown up in ways that I never thought should be possible. But here we are.
Marvelous.
Yeah.
Now tell me that. So you say it's Dan Brown
Day.
Today.
Yes, his book released worldwide.
Today. Literally today. So that'll run for a little 2 weeks or
our
3
promotion will run as
long as
because
it's popular.
Well, we're bargain books. That's what we do.
Yes. As long as it's popular, it'll be there.
Yes.
And I mean, anything that's coming up now that people should look out for that might be.
Oh my gosh,
interesting.
we should have started this at the beginning.
I know.
This is great. There are amazing books coming. Obviously you've got your what I like to say, your stock standard stocking fillers.
Yes.
You've got your Dion Mayers, you've got your Baldashis, you've got your Pattersons, and your what every father unwraps under the tree.
Yes.
Okay. Or there's a Bill Bryson coming out.
Oh, lovely.
There is.
Looking forward to that.
Oh, it's going to be great. There's a new Brene Brown coming. I thought you might be excited by that one. It's fantastic. I mean, Brene Brown's like my big southern sister. When the world's a bit messy, I go and sit and have a cup of tea with her in a podcast. And she puts everything back in order. She's great.
She do podcasts as well.
She does do podcasts. She's got one of the most watched TED Talks in the world.
Okay.
She's incredible. She'll set you straight. She will set you straight.
Right.
There are some lovely romance fantasy books coming. There are some interesting sport biographies coming. There is one by quite a nice young gentleman called Eben Etzebeth.
Oh yeah.
Yes. So he's bringing his book out soon.
Oh wow!
I think that.
Did he write it himself?
I like to think so.
I like to think so as well.
Yes.
You never know what Eben's got up his sleeve.
I love the title of his Afrikaans one is Tin Slaughter. I thought, well done, Eben, well done.
Clearly, Eben's surprising me that is, as a rugby player, you wouldn't think that he would,
But, I think that he's got quite a lot of very astute things to say.
Yeah.
And, if it was all possible, I'd love to have Eben in my shop so I can have a little stud chat with him.
Well, maybe you'll do a book signing.
I would love that so
Imagine
much.
that.
If I can make that happen, my goodness.
Well, these guys surprise you, eh? Because
They really do.
there's still a water.
Dieper grond.
Nou, sê,
This is it.
Hoërskool Volksrus, nee.
Volksrus,
Volksrus.
and daar is die volk. That's literally how the place was named.
I'm sure.
After the Anglo-Boer War, the auntie was standing up. Hi, kyk hoe rus die volk.
Rus
Ja,
nou,
that's
in die
great.
grond in.
Well, a lot of them,
Seker,
yes,
ja,
it was
so
great.
ashamed.
Great.
Man. Okay, so let's have a look at a couple more. I think, Janine says, there we go. There's Philip Loeb. She's saying, hello, us again.
Hello.
It's his standard response. Philip, show us a sign of life, for God's sakes. And let's see, Camilla says, also vampire
Romantic
romantasy.
fantasy, yeah.
Vampires.
Yeah.
Well, you never know with Camilla what she's thinking about.
Well, some of these books are actually startlingly good,
Really? Okay.
and I think at the right time, in the right space, they're just the ticket to pull you out of whatever flunk you're in. the seemingly impossible, to shake you away from the harsh possible that is happening around us.
Yes.
You know, say if I want to believe in a little bit of a vampire romance, I mean, yeah.
You
it
never
can
know,
happen.
you know, it
Yep.
could be there, and then this handsome vampire pops in.
Yes, they usually are horribly handsome, you know, and drop dead practically, because that's what's going to happen.
You're not then gorgeous, yeah.
Right, but they usually are quite startling because they stay out of the sun, you see.
Yes, I
they
would
stay
see,
out of the sun, you
yes,
know,
they
it's great
can't-
for the complexion.
No
Yes,
sun
yes,
tanning with those.
This is it. Yeah, that's why, that's the thing, they sparkle.
Sparkle, sparkle, sparkle.
Listen, I think Bram Stoker, when he saw the sparkling vampire nonsense, he was like, oh, stop it. Stop it.
And anything else that's coming. I mean, it's always. I was speaking to Teresa about those. You know, always the Harry Potters and the you know, the Tolkien stuff came out as well. They did a re-release of that stuff, and it was so big with the movies coming out. So we got to watch where the movies are coming in and slot it in with the books as well.
This is it, you know, and a lot of the times the books are so much better. I'm always going to say that they're so much better, but they're getting better with their shows, because I think they're getting used to the fact that there are people in the audience. Hey, I've read that. That's not actually how it's supposed. It's the same with my Sister's Keeper, the movie. They gave it a Disney ending. I'm like that. That's not how it goes, though. That's not how it goes, and I got quite angry about that.
Oh, my word.
But they're getting better at this. You know, they're understanding that we're reading these books.
Yeah.
You know, we want to see these characters brought even more to life than what we've created them in our minds. You know, and I see it as a validation almost of the image I've created, and going, that's exactly how I pictured him. You know, Robert Galbraith has just brought out book 7 in the Cormoran Strike series. Okay. Now, I hope you know Robert Galbraith, but it's okay. I will bring you up to speed. Cormoran Strike is amazing. PI series, great catching you up here. I would start at 1 because of the character building.
Okay.
You know, and when I started reading these books, I'm like, yeah, this writing style, there's something to it.
Okay.
This writing style, there's something, and I can't quite
put
place
your
it.
foot on it,
Yeah,
put your
so
finger on
I
it.
did a bit of research into Robert Galbraith.
Yeah.
Who is this? Alias for J.K. Rowling.
Oh.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh my Robert, oh my God.
Yeah, and you know, I think that she started writing as Robert Galbraith because, you know, you get known for a certain thing.
Yes.
Like I was known for years as being the teddy bear lady. I love that. I love that. I love being the teddy bear lady, and people still refer to me as that. But
Wasn't Teddy Bear Heaven? That was another.
no, that was a
thing.
separate
That was a
issue.
separate thing. Okay.
Yeah, a separate issue. But I've evolved,
Yes.
you know, and I've become the book lady.
Yeah.
You know, and I think the same for J.K. Rowling, you know, and this is what happened with the Robert
you
Galbraith.
get locked in.
You get locked into it, so this is your path and this is where you're going to go.
You're going to sell.
And you don't need to. You don't need to. And I think that's true with everything in life. I mean, I was locked into a finance path,
Yes.
you know, and I don't have to stay there.
Yeah.
You
It's
can
an
change.
advantage as a writer that you can actually do that. You've got this sort of buffer between yourself and the audience that you can play with.
Yeah.
You know, so you're gonna make yourself a man or a woman, whatever
you want,
and you slot it out there.
and you get read differently.
Yeah, and
as a
but
result.
yet you're using the same channels to market your books and your things.
And also the same you is the driving force behind that.
Yes.
Because at the end of the day, our core is our core.
Yeah.
You know, and our upbringing, our early memories, they are who we are.
Yeah.
We're built from those boots up.
Yes.
You know, and so yeah, there's lovely there's lovely fiction coming out. There's some really good non-fiction coming out, some political titles that are going to kick a few bottoms, which is great. We love that.
Yes,
we
yes,
love
yes,
that.
yes.
Shadow State is doing some amazing things at the moment, and it is a story everybody needs to read.
Yeah.
Then one that I'm quite excited about, and I think it's the folktrist in me that comes out with this one, it's Bluey and Blom.
Ooh.
Yes, it's a coffee table book.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's celebrating Afrikaans people over the years.
Okay.
Now,
okay.
I'm not making it sound pretty, but I'll
Yeah,
get
yeah,
there.
yeah.
Now, Afrikaans as a language turned 100 years this year.
Oh, yeah.
It was quite a thing.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm like, really, only 100.
Well, it's like it was Dutch before then.
Yeah, but some of the rules they've got, I swear, are longer, you know.
Nice.
Yeah, you know, knee and we're not to
Yeah,
knee.
yeah,
And I'm like,
yeah.
oh gosh. But they're bringing out this beautiful coffee table book that's been curated by Nathaniel. And
Nathaniel.
and it's been styled by him as well.
Yeah.
So you can imagine it's going to be opulent, it's going to be beautiful, it's going to be
Yes.
raw. But it's got good old South African folk like you and I who've got a little bit of a story to tell.
Yeah.
And then some fancy people like Charlene from Igoli in her heyday
okay, wow.
tells a little bit about her story.
Yeah.
You know, so it's going to be essentially a photo album of nostalgic heimwee,
yes,
you know, to remember our roots to a sense.
culture.
Yeah,
I
culture.
suppose, and
Yeah.
so you don't, because you can forget about these things, and if
Yeah.
nobody records them, how are we ever
But
going to
this
know?
is the thing, you know, with Heritage Day coming up soon, you know, what is your culture?
Yeah.
Or do you go and grab it out of a yogurt tin?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
who are you? What are your roots?
Yeah.
Where are you from?
Yeah.
You know,
And South Africa has got such a rich culture from so many different angles.
right, such
you
a
know,
melting pot, hey?
It is a total melting pot, and there was just, I mean, just discussing the other day with you know, that the languages just all fuse together eventually. You know, in 300 years' time, it's all going to be the same language.
But we understand each
Yes,
other. Over
absolutely.
11 or was it 12 official
Yeah,
languages?
yeah.
We understand each other because there's
do.
this common chord
Yes.
that connects us.
Yeah.
And it all, I could bring that back to a book as well if I
Yeah,
wanted to.
yeah.
But yes, it's all connected through.
Do you remember
through
a book
words.
called Our Big Yours?
A big yours?
Yeah,
No.
it was Our Big Yours. It was colloquial English.
Love it.
But delicious Afrikaans.
Oh, I love
words
it.
Spelt out in phonetically. You know.
Oh, I love
And,
that.
I just remember we bought it as a family, and we spent. It was just like a little paperback, and it just had so many examples. There's examples. I wish I could find it again.
You're making me think of Jeremy Taylor and
Yes,
Steady.
it was very
Yeah.
very similar to that, you know. But and they spelled it Our Big Yours, you know, Our Big Yours. You know,
I'm never going to be able to say it again. You understand? You understand? You've ruined
No,
ambiguous
yeah,
for
no,
me forever.
for sure.
Love it.
No, they had everything. It was actually a great thing. But it part of this language that is mushing together, you know. And I suppose that's culture.
Yeah.
So the certainly the bookstores are part of that, part of keeping that going, and also we were talking before about the book clubs.
Yes.
And how they become sort of therapy groups, I suppose, in the end, you know.
Very much so. And I think a lot of people pull comfort out of books, book clubs. I know that there is one at the moment which is probably my best kind of book club. It's called the Silent Book Club.
All right.
It's great. So they meet up and they quietly read their books for an hour and then they leave. It's great. It's great. But you get so many different types of book clubs. You get the academic book clubs where they will buy a book and they will read it and then present it to the group.
Okay,
And
wow.
yes, and you
That's
feel
quite
quite
the pressure.
studious.
Yes.
It's a lot of pressure, you know.
Yes.
But I think that what makes that such an interesting book club is that you see somebody else's perspective a lot sharper.
Yes.
You know,
Yes,
and
yes.
you kind of think, well, gosh, did I read the same book
Yeah.
as you? I'm not sure no more. You know, and then you've got your social book clubs, and then you've got your very much your therapy book clubs. You know,
Yes.
where they're books haphazardly. There's a lot of one.
Yes.
And there's a time to unwind.
Yes,
You
yes.
know, which I think is great. We
Yeah.
do support book clubs hugely at Bargain Books. You know, come in, buy your books. We're going to treat you well. I
Yes,
promise.
yes.
And we'll treat your wallet even kinder.
Oh, good. I
Yes.
like that. Let's just have a quick look. I see Davina's popped in as well. She says, hi there from me in Lorraine. Yes, Lorraine Davina, back in my beloved South Africa. Lovely to have you
welcome back.
Welcome back, Davina. I hope you had a good time over there. And then Elmarie saying, love Nathaniel. Have to come grab his book, yeah.
Please do. It's going to be absolutely startling. There's also, he's releasing a short stories again over Christmas.
Oh, okay.
So both in English and Afrikaans. And he has got a particular way of delivering a story in Afrikaans, which is pure class. Yes, just so that us English people can catch up, you know.
Yeah.
I think that's actually why he does it.
I think so,
because we
very
need to
slow.
catch up, because sometimes a lot of the things that he's saying hit so hard.
Yeah.
He wants to make sure you hear them.
No, look, he's a bright guy.
No,
There's
for sure.
no fool.
Yeah, but lovely short stories are coming from him.
Cool.
And I always find him so
amazing
fascinating.
that he's really spread his wings like that. You know, he's not. I mean, he's an amazing musician and he's a comedian and say recipe books as well. Yes, of course he did the whole recipes.
Nantes, yeah.
He sticks to his guns and what he loves.
Yes,
you know?
and he does it beautifully.
Yes,
he does everything he does rather beautifully.
Absolutely,
Yes.
I put him in the same category as like Peter Dirk Ace or
Yes.
other guys who are also brilliant
Yeah.
guy. You know,
Yeah.
absolutely brilliant guy. David Kramer is another one, just that where they go into something, but they go into in such depth.
Boots and all.
Yeah, everything.
Yeah.
Just give it horns.
Yeah.
Everything. Camilla says, any new Dion Meyer this Christmas?
There very much is.
Oh.
Scorpio.
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 Okay.
It'll be the Afrikaans edition,
Okay.
and we will wait patiently for the English translation.
Okay.
And yeah, you know, the last year or the year before, he'd given us Leo. Now this is also Benny Griesel, Scorpio.
Okay.
So I've got to wonder if there's a bit of a track to
Yes,
the
with the
zodiacs with
zodiacs,
this
yeah, I
one.
see
You
that,
know,
yeah.
I wonder how he's going to depict us poor Pisceans.
Jeez, I
Yeah.
wonder. And Elmarie says, ja, my ouma het gesê. That's what he does. That's what he says.
Yeah.
I mean, so you've clearly got some bargain books people out here as well.
It's lovely to hear. Hi, everyone.
And but I mean, thank you so much, Trace.
I've had so much fun.
It's been quite a nice little journey, I must admit. And I learned about the alias, old Rowley's alias.
Yeah.
And I can't wait. He's such a good writer, says Camilla. Yeah. And it always got their own
But
thing.
that's the thing, you know, we wrap ourselves in with authors that can do no wrong. I've got a couple of them, and I swear if they released a grocery list, I'd probably
just
read that too.
get it as well,
Yeah,
yes.
because it'll be that riveting.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I think it's been long enough now. That we know that books are here to stay. Then people are not going to, because it was always the digital things, the Kindles and whatever, that's all taken over, and social media. And
I love that threat. I love that threat. Yeah.
I know. And for musicians, it's a similar threat. And I think that everything's going back to live music and live stuff. And you want to be able to see that guy. I don't want to waste my ears on AI.
You don't want to try and filter through everything that's been layered on top of it.
No.
You want to draw. You want it given to you.
I want to see it.
Yeah.
I want to see it live. That's what you want to do.
And I want you to experience that with books as well.
And also that relationship with that writer or that thing as well must be real. You got to know that where it's coming from. You know.
This is it. Yeah, and you can trust what that author's telling you.
Yes. Yeah. That's going to be a thing, I'm sure, with AI now. As to how do you trust that thing is coming from a person.
Real. Yes, it's real. It has to be. Yeah.
Because I mean, you want it to come from a person. I don't want to. I don't want to waste my eyes on AI.
Yeah.
It's
fed all those emotions, and they don't understand how to use them.
Yes.
Just where to apply, and just fling and hope they land.
So it's going to be tough to see, and interesting to see how it all pans out. But bargain books and the like will hopefully guide us as well.
We will steer you right. Yes, we will steer you right. Come grab a bargain from us.
We will do.
Because that's what we do.
Tracy, thank you so much for spending our time with
Thank you for having me. Yeah.
Gino Sport. And thanks, guys, for joining us. We're gonna release this one again. I've because of with Facebook's new rules and things, I want to put that YouTube link out all over the place. So we're going to put the YouTube link out, and then people can subscribe to YouTube. It's the way to go. And thank you so much to our guest, Tracy. Who's been very, very nice. Thank you so much, and very gracious. And now we know what you're about. People can come and visit you, and they know what makes you tick.
I'm a real girl.
You're a real girl. I'm a real boy. Well, thank you, and we'll join you next week. We've got Olga's coming on with a guy called Yeye, who's going to be she's got the whole story. We'll put it out there, but we got an interesting one for next week as well, next Tuesday. And thank you very much for joining us, and we'll see you again next week, every single Tuesday, 6:30. Cheers.
Relax, sit down. Coming out of PE town. Have a drink, find a shot. Never mind your liver, get to Gino's spot.
Gino Spot.
Get to Gino's spot.
Gino Spot.
Have a laugh, have a giggle, and exercise your middle. Have a Gino shot.
Gino Shot.
Get to Gino's spot.
Gino Spot.
Get to Gino's spot.
Gino Spot.
Have a laugh, have a giggle, and exercise your middle. Get to Gino's spot.